Jose Dorito Argon, better known as Pancho Villa, was born on June 5, 1878 in Durango, Mexico in the 20th century. He was raised by his mother and father, and when he was 15, his father died. He had three brothers and a sister. His family was in the peasant class, so he worked as a sharecropper to help support his family. While doing this, he witnessed the harshness of a peasant life and how the rich took advantage of the poor, treating them as slaves. Witnessing this would later on influence what Pancho Villa would fight for. In 1894, one day when he was coming home, he found that a man was going to rape his little sister. He took a pistol and shot the man in his head and began to run from the law. In 1896, he became the leader of a rebellious group that would steal from the rich and give to the poor. Pancho Villa opened the poor people to the idea that they could stand up for themselves and gain more rights. This gained him very much respect from the people in Mexico, where he mainly influenced. He continued doing this until 1910. During this time, men of the Mexican Revolution heard of Pancho's skills and asked him to join so they could create a better life for the poor and have Mexico become a better place, which was Pancho's goal. From October 1910 to May 1911, Pancho Villa was a great leader, but resigned due to differences among a commander named Pascal Jr. On May 29, 1911, Villa married Mary Luz and had Corel and had kids to settle down, but failed because of the new political unrest in Mexico by Madrigal, the new president. Villa gathered troops and worked with General Victorian Hitora to support Madrigal against his enemies. Later, Hirata accused Villa of stealing a horse and ordered him to be executed and sent to prison, but later on escaped. Villa then allied himself with Vinistana Carza to fight against the Hirata. After that, he won battle after battle, making him a winner, even though he didn't create anything valuable for the globe. He took over Chiano and ordered Northern Sea and spent his time stabilizing the economy and helping the poor. Socially, he allowed schools for the children to be built and private ownership of land of the working adults. The environment he sought out for was an independent working one, and in the end created a comfortable environment for his people. Politically, even though he was never a president, he had enough trust from the people that he was able to create a rebellious group to fight against the constant changing government. The groups would harass the Carranza government. Later, he stopped fighting the government and settled for 25,000 acres of the Cantillo lands in northern Durango. Culturally, after Pancho Villa got land, his goal was to have great crops. He studied American techniques of contour plowing and rotation. Economically, he founded a bank which readily made loans to farmers so that the economic system would be fair and farmers would have the tools needed. In 1914, Villa and Carranza split and became enemies. In the next few years, Mexico was in civil war. The United States supported Carranza so much that on March 9, 1916, Villa attacked the town of Columbus, New Mexico, and what helped him with this was because Mexico has diverse land and is so close to the United States border. Killing multiple people, the U.S. sent soldiers to capture Pancho Villa, but never did. Later, Carranza was assassinated and Adolf de la Huerta became president of Mexico. He wanted peace, so he gave Pancho Villa land ownership, and Pancho Villa retired in 1920. July 20, 1923, he was gunned down in his car, but the mystery still remains if that was how he really died. Pancho Villa is a great man because is an extraordinary man because he has become almost like a mythical creature in Mexico because so many people have created legends about him, and it's hard to say which ones are real or not. Pancho Villa should be remembered because he was a leader of the Mexican Revolution. What makes him so good is because throughout all the rebellious ways and fighting for the poor people, and they saw him as Robin Hood, and nothing about him is offensive. For more information, you can find him in Unit 5, Chapter 29. He should be studied because he has many skills, like being a great horseman, good politician, great military commander, and brought the Mexican Revolution to the United States, the attention of the United States. What makes him different is that he had the support of the people and didn't have a rank in the military or government prior to the Mexican Revolution, and didn't come from a rich family. He also knows what it's like to go through the hardships of when you're poor.